We're live.
Yes, we are. We are. We're here. We're here.
We about to have a party up in here. What you drinking?
Sweet tea, not Long Island, just sweet.
Okay. And I got the water.
You see what kind of party we're at?
All right. We're going to give people a few minutes to come on while we listen to this music. All right, I see people coming on. I'm just playing a little bit of music, giving people time to come on. We got Sensualista Milayo in the house.
What's up, y'all?
I hear she fun. I hear she crazy. I'm like, she can't be as crazy as me.
We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see.
All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Masturbation Month. So, y'all know, y'all been watching. I've been bringing some amazing sisters and one amazing brother on Saturday. But this month I had a bunch of amazing sisters on here, real talk for real, talking about sexuality, talking about how sexuality has helped improve their life, how it's changed them. So welcome. And today I have Milayo Negesti. She's a sensualista. She does a lot of stuff. So as you're coming on, please say hello. Let us know you're here. And as always, if you have any questions for us, please ask. I love this to be interactive. We're going to be talking. We're going to be answering your questions about sexuality. So let's go. All right. So, Milayo, tell us who you are. Tell us who you are, first of all.
I'm just me. Nothing special. Nothing major. No, seriously, that's true though. That's true. That is true. But I am Sensualista Milayo Negesti, and I am a sacred sex and sexuality coach, healer, and guide. In a nutshell. And everything else that I do in there, I be going on and on and on and on. And that's, we can't do it every day. So I'll just say that.
So what does a typical session, okay, I know when I say typical, there's no such thing as typical because I do this too, right? But what, on average, like how does a session look? Like when you say, so people can kind of understand what type of healing you do, what does it look like?
Okay. Okay, so now you want me to get into it. It runs the gamut, but it's all centered around sensuality, sexuality, and spirituality. So if you wanted to put me into a category, you could say I'm a tantrika, or you can say I'm a dakini, which is, probably closer to, the in terms of the frequency. Dakini. So I help facilitate people opening to love. The spirit of love. That is it. Morning, noon, and night. For me, it's all about love. And I use sex as a segue to open people to love. That's why I'm on the planet. Whoever's watching this needs to know that today. Okay?
Yes.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. So if I came in and I wanted to be opened up to love, what does that look like? Like, you know what? And I asked that. Okay, so I have so many clients that come to me. Huh?
I said, oh, this is that kind of interview, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me cross my legs.
Okay. No, uncross those legs. Uncross those legs, please. We don't be crossing legs here. Mm-mm. Too many of us women, too many of us grew up in a church where our parents were like, close your legs, cross your legs. You got to wear a long dress. You got to wear, loose fitting.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
True indeed. You have to bend your
Oh,
knees when you lean over to pick something up. No, I don't.
yes, I know,
No, I
right?
don't. And if you're uncomfortable,
No.
that's fine. That's been me since I was young.
Let that, that's on you. Let that ass out. Yeah. So let me say hello to those coming on. Hello, Raya. Hello, Cami. Hello, Riri. Hello, Tambra. And who else is on? Say hello. Be ready for some questions.
Hi,
So
Cami. Hi,
let me ask you.
Martha.
So how did you? So
Cam.
since you were young, you were always kind of um,
Kind of what?
sensual. Is that you saying hi? Okay, go ahead. Hi. Are you there? Looks like you froze. That looks like you froze. Can you hear me?
I do. Yes, I hear you.
And people who are coming on, please let us know if you hear us okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Something happened. I think you froze.
Hmm.
It
Let's
sounds
see.
like I hear some kind of noise or something in the background.
I'm going to do something to see if it adjusts. Okay. So the screen might go black for a minute.
Okay. 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 Sounds good. Okay. Cami says we can hear you. She hasn't froze. All right. So were you not hearing that noise kind of like on the side? I don't know. It might be on my end. So Cami says the energy is beautiful. Thank you. While she's doing that, while Milayo is fixing her stuff, if you have not, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell because I'm always having great, amazing sisters, people to come on and talk about sexuality. And this month is masturbation month. Have you guys um been like masturbating this month? Because it's masturbation month. We need to be taking full advantage of this month. So Cami says sounds like a keyboard. Yeah. Like it was having like that little kind of noise. And I think she went out now. So I think she's just kind of changing her internet provider. So if you guys are masturbating this month, let me know. Let me know how that's going for you. Um, but I'm so excited to have Milayo on here. So her and I have been Facebook friends for a long time. Okay, you're back.
Yes.
How's that? Let's see. Okay. All right. So I was starting to see I've been Facebook friends for some time. And I used to always love seeing your quote or mantra, really. What would Malayo say? What would Malayo do? And I would always be like, this was even before I really started working with Tantra or anything. So I was just like, Sometimes when a situation will come up, I would be like, okay, what would Malayo say? What would Malayo do? Then I would be like, all right, I'm going to do that. So, it's so great to have you on here
Thank
doing
you.
this show with me tonight.
Thank you.
So how did you actually get started in this work? Like, how did you be like, okay, I want to start working with sexuality. I want to start making better lovers. I want to start healing people and helping them to open up to love. Like, you don't just wake up one day saying, I want to do that. Like, how did that happen for you?
You know that
Or maybe you did just wake up and said that.
I'm telling you that I only arrived in a space of consciousness or awareness to that. You know, like the depth of that as my assignment on the planet. You know what I mean? As a part of my assignment on the planet. The assignment within the assignments, you know? So I'm like, wow, okay, I'm one of those people,
Mm-hmm.
you know. All of my entire path, my course throughout my life was very much in that. It was grounded in it, but I didn't have a title for it. I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? I couldn't put it in a book until I was able to
Right.
pick up a book and read something that describes me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something that I'm living in terms of just being about love and relationships. Very Libra-ish. And the Virgo in me that loves to nurture speaks to that. I've just always been that way, you know? And I've been very sexual and very comfortable with sex. Like, sex could be one of my names. Energetically, you know? Could be on my birth certificate. That's how I am with that energy in a natural way. No cap. It is what it is. You know? Sex, love, relationships. That's me.
Yes. Okay, so you're going kind of in and out, so I'm not able to hear all the words. Like I'm hearing some. So I don't know if it's just me. Are you guys able to hear Milayo okay, or is it just me? I don't know.
It's amazing because
I tell you guys, doing these lives, I haven't had one yet that has that's flowed smoothly. I don't know what it is. The universe is like, challenge, let's give a challenge.
being real.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, talk, let's see how it sounds.
I'm here. Hello. Do you hear me?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You do? You hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Guys, can you let us know, how do you hear? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you please let us know how it sounds on your end? Okay.
They hear.
Cami says too much frequency. Okay, they're saying that they can hear you okay. I think the problem is on my end. Because you sound choppy and look choppy, so it might be on my end.
I see myself clearly.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's why I'm not hearing you. Okay. Let's see. Let me just turn off my Wi-Fi. Huh? All right, I'm gonna just turn off my Wi-Fi on my cellular. Okay. All right, so I know, right? Like too much frequency. I think that's what it is. We got this strong energy going, and it's like, you know, the electricity, the electrical can't handle us. You know what? Actually, speaking about that, the electricity. I don't know if you've heard of William Reich. So I studied William Reich. He did this study, and one of the things that he talks about is that women, we generate a lot of electricity, especially when we're having orgasms. And he took had 4 women masturbating and having orgasms at the same time, and they were able to turn on a light switch. So they connected somehow people to like these electro things, and connected them to a light, and having orgasms. 4 women at the same time turned on the light. So I think you and I are that powerful. We don't need 2 other women, just the 2 of us. Man, this internet can't handle us. Yes. So, all right. Am I still a bit cracky? I turned off the Wi-Fi on my cell phone. Because the only other thing I could do is like stop, turn off my modem, and turn it back on, which is going to interrupt this. So let me know if you guys can kind of hear me okay. So, and I'm not listening from 2 things, Cami, is just this. So I don't know why it's choppy. Hopefully that's better with me turning off the Wi-Fi from my phone. So, and I am in Brazil, so.
Right.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, we are powerful. And hello, Anne. You sound okay now. Okay, good. So I think I just needed to turn off the other Wi-Fi. All right, so I think we could get started now. Well, we already got started, but now I think we can flow now. So, all right. All right. So, guys, again, thank you for coming on. Looking good. All right. I'm happy that you guys can hear us. And let us know if you know have any questions or anything. So let me ask you, what's the difference between tantrika and dakini?
Why are we gonna go there, Renee? Come on, Renee. This is what I I'm going to all these places that I don't go. Okay, great. Thanks, Renee. Mwah. So
You're welcome. I'm good for that.
the dakini is the deity. The dakini is the spirit dancer. The dakini is the essence. You know what I mean? Like, it's what you are spiritually. And then there is the tantrika. The tantrika is like the devotee to the dakini, in essence, whether consciously or not, because the work is it is the dakini that is the work, right? And then the work is carried out by tantrika.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you all. You're supposed to know.
That makes sense.
Yes. So it makes sense? Okay, cool. So I don't have to go any further. What else do you want to know? Renee is really good into.
Okay. I went out for a second. Can you hear me? No, that's yeah, that sounds good. I love that. And it's interesting because I remember when I first got on this path, I would see people who were like, I would see dakini, you know, such and such. And I was like, well, I want to become a dakini. There was a place that I actually wrote to, because they did like a whole initiation. They was like do dakini initiations. And then I wrote to them because I was like, oh, I want to do this and I want to get initiated. I want to become a dakini. And then they never wrote back. So I was like, okay, well, there goes that hope. But and then I forgot all about that. And
I'm glad that you know.
I was like, okay, I guess that wasn't for me to do.
Because you know that this is not a conversation that I can have with too many people on the planet. So, mwah, to you for that. Mwah to you for creating space.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Real talk.
You're wrong. Yes. Mwah. I know. And I'm telling you, I'm loving these because not only am I creating this space to have this talk, but like people are learning so much and I'm learning much too. And it's funny because we have not grown up with this place where we just talk about sex. And it's like just whatever, honestly. We haven't had this place where we talk about spirituality. Because so many times it's like, oh, you're woo-woo, whatever, or you're hippie. I remember when I came back from India and I went home and I was dressed how I, I found some nice clothes and my family was like, oh, you're a hippie. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, and I'm like looking, I'm like, how do I look like a hippie? I didn't know. So anyway, and it's like, so when you're connected to spirituality, when you're connected to your sexuality, people want to have these different labels because they're not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And so, it's just like, yeah. And
figures, projection.
Yeah. And honestly, I had to get to the point where I was like,
say that again, because you cut. I didn't hear you.
Yes.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember what I just said. I think I said something about coming back from India and people thought I was a hippie.
Oh, right.
And then there's people, basically they're uncomfortable and and then they're like looking at you and they're putting a label on you because they don't understand.
Right.
but it is basically them being uncomfortable, you know? Yeah. So, and honestly, I had to do my work, especially when I started working with Tantra, to be like, I felt like I was coming out the closet because in the beginning, I had to very much hide what I do. Like, that's why I created a whole nother page, Prandata Prim, my initiated name, my tantric initiation name. And you know, and I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to put all my tantra stuff, and then I'll keep my Renee page just for my family and friends, and they'll just keep thinking I'm just a regular psychotherapist like I normally do. And then finally, I was like, I'm not going to be worried. I can't worry about what other people think. It's too much to be posting on two different. I maintain my Prandata, but my Renee is like blown up, all kinds of stuff. Even like I remember the first time I put a nude pic up, I had my sister-in-law send me a message. Oh my God, your nieces and nephews are going to see this. And I was like, well, I hope they do. And I hope that, you know, this could spark conversation about sexuality, about nudity. And there's no nudity. We were born nude, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely had to get through that where it was like, I ain't worrying about what nobody's saying. How was that for you? Like, to be able to work with sexuality, to be able to work with people in their nudity and everything. And maybe I don't know how was your family and friends when you first started working with this? Like, were they okay? Did you have to work through they were okay or not? What was that like for you?
Um, it's funny. It's so many questions, so many layers. You did that like a Virgo, boy. Oh boy. Let me get bullet number one was blood clot.
Okay.
Okay, so I will say that um, it was gradual for me. So my family members, I'm figuring they already know I'm sexual, right? Before I'm saying I'm doing the work, they know I'm the sexual person in my family. We're all sexual. I'll say that. you know, Oof, let me not, because this is running through the veins of all of these freaks that I'm related to. No cap. So they know who I am. They already know the energy. So there's no like serious overt discomfort. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, I was able to be, it was like just, a joke, maybe something funny, but not like I had to go hide from being who I was. I didn't really feel that way. Although I did, you know. Ooh, I think we might have lost her. I'm assuming she's gonna come back. So I'll just flow with it because I don't know what she's gonna do at the time. Can you all still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. And then I'll carry on with my story. She's gone here. Okay. She said to keep on talking. I was on to it. Cool. So, I feel like I've been the person who was sexual. My peers all knew, like my cousins knew that I was that person. And I'm sure the adults did too. So they wouldn't be surprised to know that I would go somewhere near a work associated with it because I'm very relationship, love, sex oriented, and I'm already doing healing work. So it's all just one fusion. I don't I can't say that they bugged out or I had anybody say like, what are you doing? Or why are you doing that? And I will say this, before today, they probably weren't even clear on exactly what it is I do. In fact, they're not.
Before
They
today.
just know I'm crazy and I'm really into sex and I'm extra. They know that. Cheers to that. After this interview, they'll know everything.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, because you know your family be watching. Oh man, it's so funny. It's
I'm
so
like a
funny.
secret
Okay.
agent. I'm a secret agent. You're putting my shit out.
Secret agent, man.
I'm
So
low
so
key
funny.
secret agent.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
paradox, but okay, whatever. I'm a secret
But
agent,
you
but
know,
everything is
yes.
because there's
You
more.
coming?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's always more.
Uh-huh.
Beneath all of that, there's always more.
Yes. And I'm like wanting to pull the bar out slowly but surely. I went in too quick. I was supposed to kind
Virgo,
of,
Virgo,
go
Virgo.
slow. Yes.
Virgo, she
So,
gotta have it. Boy,
yes.
she gotta have it.
You know how we are.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. So I moved closer to the router, I opened the door. So hopefully the internet's so much better now. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you so much for your patience. So, um, we're in Brazil. Everybody's on the internet. People are in quarantine. So it's not the best service. So, things happen. But we're having fun. We're going with this. hmm So that's cool. I like that. I like that. And it's funny because I guess now after this interview, you're gonna be having some talk with your family.
It's so funny. Nah, they no, nobody's gonna say anything to me.
So
Because they know. They just don't talk
right,
about it. You know?
it's like that elephant in the room.
Right.
That
Right.
elephant in the room.
Pew, pew, pew,
Yeah.
pew. You know, it's like okay. We're,
hmm
we're not surprised.
And
It's
so, and I think that's the other thing too. Like, there's in so many families. I think we know. Are you the baby? Are you the youngest or only child?
strange. So I'm not the baby on one side of the family, but I am the daughter of the baby. So by
hmm
default, I am the baby. You know, I'm an extent.
hmm
It's a very strange paradigm. So, like the because of the endearment the mother has for the last child, it's kind of just passed on to the baby of that child. It's an amazing thing. So I
yes.
had a spoiling going on because of my father, bless his soul.
Right. Right. And so you have that saying, the baby of the family, or the baby of the daughter of the baby of the family, tend to be the crazy one, the one that's out there. So I'm the baby of my family, and I'm out there. Like, all of my family, they're very conservative, and I would be the one, in high school wearing the half tank t-shirts, with my stomach out.
Ooh.
My siblings, my older sister, no. They would be dressing like completely conservative. And my parents, see, the good thing was I knew when to come to my parents. So my parents had me 9 years later after my other siblings. My mom had actually had her tubes tied, and the tubes became unraveled. So 9 years later, she had me. I had four other siblings. So by the time I came, they were just too tired. They were like, that damn Renee gonna drive us crazy. We just gonna have to let her do whatever she wants to do. Like, they
Yes,
couldn't, they
yes,
could not handle me. They were
yes.
like, yeah, they were like already in their late 40s or whatever, which is still young. But after
Today.
raising four kids and then being in their 40s, they were just like, mm-mm. So, I was always sexual too. I had a lot of sexual energy, but then I had that mix of guilt because of growing up Christian, and I really wanted to wait till I got married, and so then when I didn't wait till I got married, then I was like, oh shit, I'm a heathen, I'm going to hell. So I had all of that stuff, like oh my God, I'm going to hell, I'm bad, but I have these needs. So what's going on? And it was all this conflict. And it was just like, I couldn't really enjoy sex like I wanted to. And it was just because my head, and for women, we're mental. We're mental. And so my head is like fighting. And I'm just like, then, one of my boyfriends was like, were you abused? I was like, no, I wasn't abused. He was like, well, why are you tensing up? Like, I can't even, and I didn't realize it at the time. And, I didn't know like all of this stuff in my head. And so I go to the gynecologist and I'm like, I don't know if I'm abused, but the sex is hard, like it's painful. And I don't know. And the gynecologist was like, oh, your uterus is tilted, try different positions, like no help really. So then I started doing psychotherapy and traditional psychotherapy, that didn't help either. It's not like I wish right. I wish at that time when I was in my 20s, I would have known a sex therapist. I would have known what that was because I would have went to a sex therapist. Or, someone like you, someone like me, to get that help. And, as I work with this, my background is as a psychotherapist. And I realized that doing this work with sexuality is so important. And just the traditional therapy is not enough. Like, I'm not saying don't go do psychotherapy, but it's not enough. Like, you have to do you have to do the body work. That gunshot, you have to do.
Fireworks.
Sound like, I'm like, where you at? Am I hearing gunshots? Right. See, I grew up in Brooklyn, so and I live in Rio. Yeah. So them gunshots be real.
Surely.
That stays with you, man. That stays with you. So so that's the thing. And so like that's why it's become my mission to do this work, like to help women, other women who are going through the same thing, who are not able to enjoy sex, who's not able to enjoy um orgasms. Like this is our birthright. Like we should be having multiple orgasms all the time.
All the time. Without any help.
Right. Right.
Just
right.
actually as our state of being. Like moving through the streets, blissed out, Like who needs to smoke?
Right.
When your frequency is high enough, you don't need to smoke, you don't need to drink, you don't need it. You don't even want it.
Right.
Because it's gonna fuck up the vibe you're on. You just want to be feeling the purity and the essence of love and beauty.
Yes.
You just
Yes.
you want to stay there as long as you can, because in any moment, there's something to distract you. You want to get back.
So true. So true. So are you? So how are you like? What's your diet like? Are you vegetarian? Are you vegan? So I'm assuming
everything.
you eat everything.
I eat everything. But before we get into that, which is we'll get into that. I wanted to talk about the religious piece that you touched on.
Yes.
It's such a big deal on purpose. Okay, religion, any religion, and I have no religion, so I'm not on any side. I have zero religion. For any person who's wondering, okay, I'm spiritual. Cool. And and I respect all the religions, and I see them having their place. But they're not. None of them are claiming me. Okay, cool. So, religion is something that you don't see any women in. You don't see any women in the church unless you can be a Christian, and now you can be a pastor or a minister. I don't know if that's throughout every denomination. I know you can do that. Baptist, Pentecostal, women are behind the pulpit. Cool. Judaism, Islam, the ones with the numbers. Christianity's numbers are high as well. Okay? And depending how conservative you are with your Christianity, there's no female up there preaching or ministering anything. So, right. As a woman, just based on common sense, don't need to read a book or anything. Why would what you accept as the thing that created you be a man? Why would it be male? Why would that be a true thing? That the creator of this universe would be a man? Maybe something androgynous reflects what's going on. You know, everything we see is male, female, right? We know masculine and feminine are indwelling in each being, you know, as a part of your spirit. But why on earth would God be a man?
True.
God could never be a man. So if what you pray to takes the woman out of it, aside from the creation story and being the wife of somebody, if that's what you're praying to and that's what you're requesting of, that's what you draw on as your truth, it's a mind fuck, mama. High level.
Yes. Oh my God. That is so true. Oh my God. I have never thought about that.
Oh, dirty game. Dirty game.
Yes.
It's a dirty game. And that's what everybody's playing. And so when I started I had been sexual forever.
Mm-hmm.
Sexual forever. In one way, shape, or form. By the time I had penetrative sex, right before my 16th birthday. Actually, right before my 15th birthday. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's a long time ago. It was not uncomfortable for me. I chose me over church because I grew up in church. I went to Catholic school. Mm-hmm. You know, I did communion and confirmation. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the Pentecostal church. My grandmother was one of the founding mothers of the church. You know, one of the church where you're one of, you know, whatever your family's last name, that's how they identify you and all your cousins and associates by your last name kind of church. I grew up a Guyanese church at that. Not even just a regular Pentecostal, a Guyanese Pentecostal. So everybody's nose is up. You know, a little bit further. To my GT people. So I'm just saying, it was me and my pleasure, which is natural to me, or being condemned to hell. And I used to make very logical decisions as a young person when it came to, you know, that kind of stuff. So I was like, naturally, church had to go because I wasn't going to be in something that was making me feel so guilty for something that is natural for me to do. I like sex and I wasn't hurting anyone, you know, so why should I be condemned to hell? So I just unplugged from church personally. My relationship with spirit or God or the creator began to change, you know, began to shift even at that age once I started having sex. So I didn't have any guilt. But so when you're telling your story, I can relate to it because I worked with it. You know what I mean? And it's real. It's real. In my own ways, I felt frigid. Right. Not to that extent. But I knew that there's always more opening to happen when you're having sex. So even if you feel some person might be here and another person might be here and another person might be here, there's so many openings. Yes. It is the expression of it is limitless. It is that powerful and that amazing. So there's absolutely no reason to be limited in sex. You know, to me, that's like a really big taboo for people to be limited.
Girl, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you for a session.
Come to me, baby.
I'm coming.
Come through.
That was so deep. And I put Milayo's information up if you guys want to follow her, any of my people, on Facebook, Instagram, and her website.
It's getting gone. Give me a sec.
Okay. That was just so deep because I hadn't heard it put like that. Like for real. If you think about it, like she was saying, we came from a woman. Our mother gave birth to us. So how could God created everything be a male? It has to be a woman. And so, hello to everybody that's coming on. Ivette said pagan paths were more female oriented. However, witches got burnt on the stake. And so, this is the thing. The church is patriarchal. We live in a patriarchal society. And the thing is, women are so powerful. Women are powerful healers. And one of the things that I love about Tantra is matriarchal. And so we reverence women. We know, the power and the energy of women and the creation, how much we can create. And so a lot of that was about really being able to dominate and control us. And so, and it's just been all about putting women down and making us feel less than, so that we're not as powerful, so that we cannot connect to that power that we have. And that's why women were burned at the stake. Like, these are witches. Witches are a good thing. We're healers. Witches are healers. I'm proud to say I'm a witch, And so, who were the witches? The witches were the women, the women, the curanderas, what we say in Spanish, right? So you were sick, and what would happen? You would go to that curandera, the medicine woman. She would make some herbs in her pot, and stir that pot, to give you medicine and help you to heal.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Let's stir that pot.
That's right.
That's
right. That's me.
Yes. And the men were intimidated. They wanted to be able to control us, to dominate us and this world. So what did they have to do? They put fear into us. And that fear was, oh, witches are evil. Let's kill them all. Right. So thank you, Phil, for saying that I'm looking good. And yes, they are to what? You talk about the men being dominating and controlling. What part were you saying that yes? Hello, yes. Hello, everyone who's coming on. If you guys have any questions, ask. I am loving Milayo here.
Thank you.
What else? What else you got for us? Because that was just like deep. I just want to shut up right now and keep listening. For real, for real. Okay, he said yes. They are about women being powerful. You know that. You're a good man, Phil. You're smart.
I will say that with that power comes great responsibility. I just needed to say that, because it's not a free ride. It's not a free ride.
That's true.
If it was, it would be easy. And I don't know what else is as difficult on this planet. Like, across the board.
Right.
Not a feminist. Just for the record, FYI, not a feminist. I'm not an ist of any kind. Okay?
Right.
I'm just saying it's rough. Because it doesn't matter what your race is on the planet. I'm just trying to position myself. Give me a moment. It doesn't matter what your race is. If you are a woman, you are vulnerable. The way that it's set up, a woman is vulnerable here on the planet. And if you feel vulnerable, it's very challenging for you to really relax into who you are. If you are constantly in a state of vulnerability, because then you need to protect yourself.
Yes.
Because you're in a space where you don't feel protected, not essentially protected. You may have a husband, a big brother, a dad, or whatever. You may even have guns. You may have knives. You may be a martial artist. I'm talking about protection. You know what I mean? Like soul protection. That kind of protection.
Yeah. So one person, says race to me always matters, but I get it.
Now I'll say this because I'll keep it a buck. I have only slept with brown men.
Mm-hmm.
Only. I work with anybody. But brown men, I'm a brown man's woman. That's just me. That's what I feel. I know people say, "Oh yeah, I can see you with a pink man." Where you at? I don't see them. I'm like, yeah, okay. You say so. Never happened. Never ever.
I've slept with all kinds of men. Black, brown, yellow, white.
Get it, girl.
I don't discriminate.
Get it.
So
yes, Kiana, you are correct. In saying that. Definitely. That is true.
That is true.
What I also wanted to say on the vulnerability.
Wait, hold up. I gotta add this.
Okay.
Yes, who said, race to her always matters, but I get it. And then she wrote, my husband is white. but race still matters. she's Yaz is Puerto Rican. Black Puerto Rican. Okay. Phil says, I am the United Colors of Bitaton.
That's what's up.
Hey, Essence. Hey. Yeah, but it's important. And you know, and when you think about it, like, as well, how they try to, like, really weaken us as women. Like, even if you think about the clothes, you know, it's women who have to wear the high heel shoes to be sexy. And how uncomfortable is that? That also keeps you in a more vulnerable position because you can't run if something has happened as quickly. Then, you know, they make it so that we have to wear this bra, a bra that's so uncomfortable and it's tight and it's cutting off your blood. I don't wear bras. And then they design it where they mess with us where you feel like you have to wear tight pants that cause yeast infections. Your coochie can't breathe. It's like, but they do all of this stuff to make us feel like, to feel more vulnerable, really. Why isn't that men, you know, not wearing a bra on their balls? You know, they're bra for the nutsack, you know. Why can't men wear?
Y'all see where Renee's headed with this, right?
Why can't men wear heels? We got to be the uncomfortable ones. Phil says, all for us, baby. Yeah, so you know, so it's you know, it's true. That's the thing. Bra on the balls. You know what? I'm gonna invent that. I'm gonna invent bra on the balls and start selling that. Be like, man, y'all gotta wear this to be sexy. Women like to see the balls sitting up.
Listen, women like dick too much to even piss men off like that.
Right?
I said it.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Women like dick too much. That's they listen. They're not interfering with them areas.
Right? No. It's so crazy. So crazy. My God. Girl. Phil says, I already trademarked it. I will sue you. The balls for the bras for the balls. Look at that. So I guess that's a jock strap, but the jock strap, I don't know. Guys on here, Phil, is the jock strap uncomfortable? Is it tight? Will you be like ready to take that off?
It looks crazy.
It does look crazy.
Who did this?
Right.
Who invented this crazy looking thing?
Right. Must have been a woman who was pissed off about the bra.
Nah, it was a man who wanted to see that ass.
Yeah. Sounds like it too.
He was like, all the athletes have the best looking asses. Let's make them wear these and walk around each other with your ass cheeks out.
Right.
Biggest bunch of debauchery going on. Except it's just
Yes.
normal though. Come on
Mhm,
now.
mhm.
I guess you
Yeah.
just can't get a wedgie when you're playing sports. I guess so.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't. Anyway, because the gymnasts with wedgies. I see gymnasts with that stuff all up in the backside. Nobody cares about them
Mhm.
though, huh?
True.
Treat the girls right.
Yes, yes.
Please.
Ooh, funny. Oh my God. This has been hilarious. Hilarious. But deep, like, I love how these conversations can be fun, but it's fun and entertaining, but knowledgeable. Like, oh my God. Yes. Mm, mm, mm. So what else? What else you want to share? What else? What else you want to share with us tonight before we
I,
go?
I don't know. Any questions? Are there any
Anybody?
questions?
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions for us while we're on here?
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know. This is your moment. This is for you. So,
Oh, listen, I want
yeah.
to answer the eating question. So I presently eat
Oh,
whatever
yes.
I eat whatever I want to. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
my philosophy maybe for the last 10 years is that the way I feel about my food is more important than all of the rules that I was putting on controlling what I put in and don't put in, because I'm extreme like that. So when I was vegan, it's a lot of work, a lot of stress, especially coming from
Mm-hmm.
a school of thought where that is extreme and says that if you are eating, most things are toxic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like most things that you can put in your body, if it didn't grow out of the ground, it has the potential to be toxic. So,
Yeah.
that extreme, like even maybe fundamentalist vegetarianism, because I low key think it's like a religion or a cult, to be honest. Because just make a healthy choice, just make healthier choices. Why do you have to have a label? Why do you have to separate yourself from the people who eat meat? The people who eat meat are now bad. They're now making the worst choice ever by eating it. A lot of judgment and condemnation comes with it. It's very churchy to me. And I know because I was one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as I elevated in my consciousness, I arrived at a place where I realized it's how I feel about the food I eat. It's how I think about it. It's my relationship with it and my body that determines what I look like, or what I if I'm
Mm-hmm.
toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so many
Mm-hmm.
people eat all this good stuff and they have the coldest, emptiest hearts.
Mm-hmm. So true.
You have people who
So
are
true.
overweight who are jolly, just spreading love and being like little angels out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you can't, I mean, you arrive at a place where you're like, let everybody do them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let the
Yeah.
people do them. And
Yeah.
I let people do them, and people let me do me. That's just
That's
how I'm
it.
walking through this world.
Yep. Yep. So we got two questions.
All
Um,
right.
But I do
Hit
want to
me.
say before we go to those questions real quick, I live in a Buddhist temple right now. So here in a Buddhist temple, we're pretty much vegetarian, vegan, and I personally became vegan at one point just because I had fibroids, and that was just the best diet to kind of help cleanse me to get rid of the fibroids. And then once I got better,
Yes.
I kind of went back to eating meat, but it wasn't like as much as I would before. It might be like on a weekend. And now during this quarantine, I have been pretty much vegetarian this whole time. And I had asked that question because I wanted to see about, we were talking about the frequency. If you notice a difference energetically with the eating, so that's why I was where I was going with that question.
So I'm gonna say this, and this from this angle. When you're eating better, I think the screen is cut off, so I don't be making
Mhm.
hand gestures, and you really can't see them. Yeah, no, we don't want to be cut off. Half of the screen is cut off.
Right.
Do you see all of me or just part of me?
I see all of you. We see all of you.
Okay, so it's just a
See the
part of
hands
me.
moving as well.
Okay, right. So, if you are a person who is eating meat, and then like sometimes I get an indication that I need to clean my body, so I'm gonna do a detox, right? And during that time, I'm not going to eat any meat, and I'll put in, more supplements. I'll drink structured water. I'll do herbs. I'll do whatever. And I take supplements every day. So I'm not out here eating McDonald's or whatever.
Right.
I found a happy medium and a scale that feels good. And when I
Yeah.
need to feel, without any pressure.
That's good. That's important.
Right. And then when I get an indication that I need to start eating better,
Yeah.
or cut out the meat, or I need to cleanse, or I need to fast, then I do it. I do it
Right.
seasonally. So 4
Yes.
times a year, I'm doing some type of cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always
Okay.
different. It depends on,
Yeah.
to answer
Okay.
your
Let me.
question.
Okay. Yeah, and that's good. It feels has got to know how to listen to your body. So we have 2 questions. We have Phil who asked, why at 15 did you feel you were ready? And then Cami who asked for a couple to tell us a few practices to open our sexuality. You want to go with the sex at 15 first, and then we can answer the practice of sexuality?
Is Cami asking for a free session? I'm gonna say no. But you, Renee, can definitely share some. You can
Okay.
share anything you want.
Okay.
No, my spirits don't allow me to do that. But
Okay.
Phil, I had already been sexual. I had already been having sex, but I lost my virginity technically right before turning 15. And sex was a decision I was making. I wanted to have sex. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to have sex for some time. It wasn't like, oh, I woke up at 14 and was like, it's a good time for some sex. It was something that I wanted. It's the energy I move with. So by the time I actually got a partner who could match my energy, that was the person. Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life happens at that age. And that was the boyfriend I was with until I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Nice. So, wow, that's nice.
Having a lot of sex, baby.
He says, what type of sex? A lot of sex, all types.
Making love. A whole lot of love making at 15, honey.
So, I think that's the thing. I worked with a lot of kids, when I lived in the States, and here's common as well in Brazil where I live. A lot of kids, they don't want to lose their virginity, right? Because they're afraid of the whole guilt and all of that stuff. So instead of having penetrative sex, they have anal sex, which is still sex. But
Yes.
so many kids are doing that at like 13, 14 years old. And it's like, it's so important. This is why these conversations are so important. And these kids need to be having these conversations about sex. So, and honestly, these girls need to be masturbating. They need to learn about masturbating, how to masturbate, so they can own their own body and know how to control their body. Yeah, Phil is like, what? Yes, you didn't know that? Yeah, kids. And you have kids. Phil has kids. So like,
Younger than that, Phil.
even younger than that now. Yeah. So when I lived in the States, I was hearing this from the kids I worked with 13 years old. But I know now, even at 11. So I'm saying it's so important. These kids need to hear from their parents and not trying to scare the hell out of them. Because if you're like trying to scare them, they're going to want to do it because they're going to be rebellious. So it's like giving them information and being open and honest and not like it's something evil. Because it's just like, in Europe and France, people are allowed to drink alcohol. Kids are allowed to drink alcohol, so they're not abusing it.
And
Having car accidents, drinking and driving. Anything that we're not allowed to do when you look in the US, not allowed to drink. Kids are sneaking off and drinking. I was drinking at 15 years old, sneaking off. Then I'm getting in trouble because, like, drinking and driving and like, whatever. So it's like, you have to, says, I will beat them like they were in Haiti. um, so, Phil, have you not been watching my lives? Majority of the women who are on here are all from the Caribbean. It's because of the strict Caribbean parents. Sex is pleasure, not scary. Yes, Zakiyyah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I will. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
So I had the best of both worlds growing up because my mother's American and my father's Guyanese. So I had the strictness of the Guyanese side and the very freeness. I'm not saying all American families are free. So please, I don't want anybody to get it twisted. But the one that I had was pretty liberated. You know what I mean? So I had a good balance of control versus just being free.
Yeah.
A really, really good balance. So I was able to get away with a little bit more and have to do a lot less sneaking. I snuck now. Let's not get it messed up, baby, because I never left home until 7:20. When I was a teenager, I was out every weekend.
Right.
I used to get
I was too.
At 7:20 a.m. Be under the covers. That's the kind of childhood I had.
Yes. So I want to share with Cami, who asked about the practices, the tips. So Cami, I do want to suggest. Listen, I have some really great tips on sexuality on my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel, Renee Adolphi. My name is up here. Subscribe, hit that notifications bell. But really, go through my channels. I have tons of stuff. You'll see, I got videos from like how to squirt, how to give a woman a G-spot orgasm. I got tons of stuff on there. Are vibrators bad? So check out check out that channel. Also, Cami, I have a Patreon page. On my Patreon page, I'm giving these tips. Like I have self-exploration Sundays, I have meditation Mondays, tantric Tuesdays. We're really opening up sexuality. And Patreon is this Patreon slash Pandada Prim. So there's tons of stuff on there that you don't find on YouTube. Like I have exclusive stuff just for my Patreon members that you're not going to find in my lives. You're not going to find on YouTube. So you have those two avenues to get some tips, to get some practices to open up your sexuality. So that's what I recommend for you. All right. So, she says she has her kids' virginity money. I want to ask about that. And she says they got $1,000 if they were virgins when at high school.
This is a real thing?
Yeah. It was a win-win. You're a virgin, I'm happy. You're not, I keep $1,000. So wait, how do you know if they were a virgin or not? On their high school graduation. I mean, I guess you take them to the gynecologist and get an exam, or did you look? Huh?
See if their hymens are still intact.
Right. Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, did you take them to gynecologist to look, or did you look? Like, did you have like a what do you call it, magnifying glass and a flashlight?
That's wild. It's
brilliant. It's brilliant.
I think it's pretty smart. I give you the props for that.
They told me one made it. All right, so but how do you know that one didn't lie? You got two kids, so they told you the truth. What if the one that said she was a virgin? Right.
Brooklyn, you from Brooklyn, Renee?
Right. Phil says, how about their rectum? Yeah, because based on what I was saying earlier, right? These
Oh
kids
my
have anal
Lord.
sex to not lose
Oh
their
my.
virginity.
Oh my. I'm just clutching the
So,
pearls on that one there. How about their mouths? How about their palms?
yes,
All of this is sex. You
all of
know,
it
you
is
all need to
sex.
have like religious brainwashing or something.
Right.
All of this. If you do this with it,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
all this
true.
is going on.
Yes, said ew. What you mean, ew? It's all sex, girl. They might have been doing
All of
that. You
it.
don't know. Did you ask them when they came and told you they were still a virgin? The one who said she's a virgin. Did you ask her if she did anal sex or oral sex? No, but it's true. She said she wanted to prevent high school pregnancy, and
Okay, so anal
I
sex
remember,
would have been okay, and blowjobs too. So it wasn't about the sex; it was about the result, potential outcome. Okay,
yes.
even better. It makes even more sense.
So and it was funny. The thing is, when my high school, my graduating class, I honestly would say half the girls were pregnant in my high school class. And I'm actually going to say, um, I actually did not have sex in high school because a lot of my girlfriends were having sex, and they would come and they would be crying and they would like, such and such lied to me, such and such did this to me, and they were in tears and they were hurt. And I would look at them and I was like, I'm not trying to go through that. But I also knew I would have felt my parents. I was like, my parents would smell it on me, but I didn't do everything else. Like not everything else. I mean, in terms of like drinking, I would drink and that, but I didn't even have like I had a boyfriend, but then I broke up with him because he was trying to do more, and I was like, nah, I'm not trying to go there. So because I was like, I saw my friends what they went through, and then I saw them getting pregnant. Some of them couldn't walk, other of them walking down the stage like this with their stomach out the hair. So luckily, I had enough sense to be like, I'm not trying to be in that position like my friends, you know. So it's true, it's true, and I think
What neighborhood did you grow up in? Where was your high school? I'm just curious.
well, my high school was in Florida, though. So I grew up in Brooklyn, but I went to high school in Florida, in Winter Haven, this little old town.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? My friends in New York, all of my friends from Brooklyn, all either dead, in jail, been to jail. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, this has been a great conversation. We're up on that hour. So any last questions about anything before we wrap up? What about West Coast, Phil?
What about?
West Coast of Florida. Oh, I was in Winter Haven. Yeah, it's like I was in Central Florida, in between Tampa and Orlando. Yeah. So then I hated Florida, so I went to DC to be closer to New York. But then by that time, I couldn't afford living in New York anymore. But this is good. This was a great conversation. Yes, Winter Haven, Phil. This was a great conversation. It was fun. I got a lot. I mean, girl, my head, I'm just like,
You're
just
so
that little
funny.
bit that little bit that you said about God. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like, that was just like such an amazing, beautiful aha moment. That was so deep. Like, that's my takeaway. That's the takeaway for tonight, guys. That's a takeaway. You want to repeat that? Like, do a little summary of that for those who just came on and they didn't hear
I don't
you.
even know. What part are you talking about? Like,
The
the
summary, quick
female
little
being
summary
removed
about
from
the
religion.
female, yeah, from religion, because that was deep.
Yeah.
Those who just came on
Okay.
and missed
Well,
that, y'all got to hear that. We're gonna end with that. Okay, no more questions. Y'all just gonna listen right now. I'm gonna shut
please.
up.
And so one thing about me is that I always see things from both sides, and so just as I will say that, I must take away the blame and the guilt that is put on men for patriarchy. Because if the woman, in fact, is God, patriarchy is either something she created or something that served her. And I'm just going to put that there because this is masculine, feminine. We can't just be on some like, the men did this, the men did that. Come on, we brought the men here. So, I mean, sure, they were coming into their era and their time where we needed things to be developed, and the women were not going to do the work. Okay, so the women took a step back. It wasn't only bullying and men being persuasive. It served women to be served. You stay home, take care of the children. He's out there, he's working, he's grinding, and you're at home. And it's being at home is not easy. So I'm not saying that either. But it's your domain.
Right.
You have absolute dominion over the home and those who live in the home when you are the primary person to occupy the home.
Yeah.
And what happens in the house is what we take out into the world. So women are very responsible. Very responsible. But again, if you pray to a God or go to a church, a synagogue, or a mosque, kneel down, envision a man as your God and your creator, you have been hoodwinked and bamboozled. If the guy in the sky is a guy and you believe that, then you have likely had your brain fried. And I, again, I don't have a religion, okay? And I am not a feminist. I don't have any of those perspectives holding on to me. I just deal with what I see. You know what I'm saying? On some like logical, common sense, don't need to read it in a book. You feel me? Like you don't need to read it in a book. You just kind of be rational, be fair. Look at things from both sides, above, inside out. You can see it. How could God be a man? And everything down here, even the sun and the moon are masculine and feminine. Why not just put a sun? Why not just put a moon? Right. Everything on here is masculine and feminine to create one singular being, entity.
Right.
The masculine and the feminine. In flowers. I mean, like everywhere in nature, even things that seem to be asexual, that are reproducing, they're splitting. The split. Masculine and feminine. The wholeness, the split, existing as one. Anyway, I'm not going, I don't want to go there, but that's another video. We come on here another time and go that deep. But if you pray to a God that's a man, think about it. Think about it. Yeah. Because women are divinity as well. I'm not saying take the man out, but she needs to be right there, clearly right with him. Masculine and feminine. She needs to be there. She's not. So, you all are just praying to something,
Yeah. That is so something. Like, yeah, like it really should have been God and Goddess. Like, that's what it should have been. Not just God and Goddess at least. Like,
Please,
oh my God. Okay. At least. You know what? I think we're going to have to do a live just on that conversation, just on that topic. So, do you have anything coming up? Like anything going on? What would you like to share? Anything?
Sure. So I don't have any live events planned, but I am starting a self-love journey, a coaching journey that I created called I'm in Love with Me. And it's actually starting this week. It's a 40-day journey of being coached by me supported and guided. I don't really call myself a coach that much. Supported and guided into having a more intimate and personal relationship with yourself. Being able to relate with yourself in a way that you never ever have. It's essentially a rites of passage through the heart, to get to your heart, to get to your core so that you can know yourself better and see yourself through a different set of eyes. And so that begins this week. If anyone's interested, you can send me an inbox on Facebook, or you can send me a DM on Instagram, and I will, tell you more about it. But it's a wonderful process, something that I lived and experienced after being married and separated and then divorced, and realizing that, I'm doing all this and I don't really know me. I want to be married so badly because that's a part of the conditioning. I need to be saved or rescued, and by, a knight or a prince or a frog, whichever one, right? And that my life would improve. That's the program. That's the conditioning. So I believed in that type of love and romance. Not that it's not real. I'm sure there are many people experiencing it every day. I have, in fact, experienced it time and time again. But there, the other kind of relationships that are on the other side of the spectrum. So you realize that every time you give more of yourself to a person, that some of your self-love may be depleted. It takes a lot of energy and focus to really be into a person and allow a person into your space. And so when you do that without really being firmly rooted in self-love, a lot of times there isn't any space for you when you're in love with another. So I'm in love with me gets into that. So that's what I'm running. Starts this week. And
Awesome.
It's not about sex. Sorry. There's no sex.
Okay, but that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
I'm also available to work with clients. I travel all over the world, working with clients doing energy work and body work and face-to-face consultations, spiritual readings, baths, all of that stuff. So feel free to connect with me if you have questions along those lines or you need support in those areas as well. It's not all sexual, by the way. So some of the massage is therapeutic. And even those that are sexual are therapeutic as well. It's a very holistic experience. So if you have questions, find me. I'm out there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. This was so much fun. This was great. Um, yeah, I learned a lot about, just this was just great. So, thank you for ending with that wonderful, enlightening discussion about the church. That was just amazing. And guys, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. We'll be back on a Wednesday with Essence. So you gotta stay tuned for that. That's gonna be another great show. And I hope you guys are masturbating. This is masturbation month. We didn't even talk about masturbation.
Get into that.
We didn't get into it.
Masturbation. Oh my gosh.
That's
Just do it. How about that?
Just do it. Okay. Okay, one quick question for those who are still on there. Just real quick. You have to rush or you okay on time?
I'm good. I'm straight.
You good on time? Okay, because this is masturbation month and I did really want to get on that too. And we were just having fun and just kind of like, this is just a lot of stuff, but just real quick, if my internet will last with me. How has masturbation and connecting to sexuality helped you, like, to be able to grow and learn about yourself?
You said, how has masturbation and what else?
Just masturbation, connecting to your sexuality.
Oh,
what has that done for you? Like, how has that helped you in this journey?
It has made me feel more confident sexually because, for the record, I'm not a frequent masturbator. It's not something that I do all the time. It's, I just don't have that kind of, that's just my relationship with masturbation. How about that? So I'm not the person who might think I'm playing with myself all damn day. No, I'm not. In childhood, that was something I did a lot. But when I do it now, it is like a personal ritual for me. And I feel connected, like a time where I'm like, I really need to connect with myself intimately. Like it's time for me and you to have this exchange, and I need to go there. That's how I relate with it. And I generally use my fingers. I have
Yeah.
toys, so if I feel like I need to be penetrated, but I'm not super big on the vibration of the
Mm-hmm.
toys. I really, because of what it is for me, I want to arrive at that place in the time that I would. It's like rushing a baby. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
the baby doesn't want to come. The baby doesn't want to come. The baby's taking its time. That's how I feel about masturbation presently,
Yeah.
and it
Right.
changes, right? It
Mm-hmm.
changes depending on where I am, what the need is. But for the most part, this is like the tone for me. I masturbate. I use my fingers. I tap. It's a healing session. I chant,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
that's
I feel
good.
it makes me feel confident. It makes, to be honest, my self
Mm-hmm.
pleasuring makes me feel more connected with myself, and I feel more confident. Like
Right.
this is
Right.
my body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. And I think that's the important thing. Like I was saying earlier, like girls should masturbate, it helps you become more present and comfortable with your body. And when you're masturbating, you're not seeking someone on the outside to give you pleasure. You're not seeking someone else to like gratify you because you already know you can gratify yourself.
Yes.
And so when you find someone else, it's not about giving you something that you can't give to yourself,
Right.
and so that's
Right.
so important,
Mm-hmm.
and Phil says, what do you think about when masturbating? So before you answer that, like I do want to say it is important though, because and I tell this a lot of the time, especially to men with masturbating, it's important to stay connected to your body and not be thinking about, porn or that sexy woman or that sexy guy. I'm not saying that it's not, it's don't do that. I'm just saying in general, it's good to also kind of be focused on your body. And I liked how you said sometimes you do mantras. You're saying mantras in your head as you're masturbating. And I think those are just
I'm
really
praying too.
powerful. Mm-hmm.
I'm praying. I'm praying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
chanting. I'm calling on divinities. It is
Mm-hmm.
like when I'm having sex with another.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even more it's much more spiritual for me in those moments. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
engaging with the other energy, and so I don't have to negotiate. You know,
Yes.
there's this
Yes.
that exchange isn't there, so it's just me and my energy, and I get to just open it up and see what she wants to do with me at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think that's so
you know.
beautiful.
Hmm.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. And I like that, like you said, that you use your hands a lot. I do both. I use my hands, I use toys. But I think it's good. I think it's more important to use the hands so you can have that connection. If you use toys, it's okay too. Like I use toys, but it's important to not use the toys all the time, to not get used to it, And if you're using toys, vary it up, not just have um, the same one all the time. It's important to
Good
vary it
point.
up.
Good
Hmm.
point. Good point. I don't want to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Spice is life,
Cool.
that variety, because you don't want to get dependent on one thing, one specific type of machine, one way. So it's so important to not build up
Yeah.
that sensitivity. Yeah. So
Yeah. That's my thing. I'm like, no, I need you to work all the time, baby. I need you
right.
to be perfect every
Yes.
time. These fingers, I know that this whatever vibration these can do, they don't need to be the ones that's putting in the work most times. But I love toys. Like I actually have a toy that I wanted to bring, that I just got, but I left it in my car in my bag. But I wanted to bring it so that I could show you all this toy that has been
Hmm.
calling my name for a whole year. And I finally just was like, okay, I'll use a damn toy. Because that, and I got it at www.pinkhefts.com. Okay.
Right.
And it tickles your, it's like these three fingers, and it tickles your nipples fit right into it. So
Hmm.
that
Ooh.
stimulation boy, like fantastical. And then it does the same thing around your clit. And then if you want to put it inside of your, can I use the P word on
Ah,
here?
you can. I think so.
Okay.
We haven't
Right.
yet.
So in your, right. If you want to put it in your pussy, you can put it in your pussy too. It
Right.
is waterproof. It's so I had to really sit with it and sit with it and sit with it because I'm like that. I really like
Right.
things to be as natural as possible. I really do. That's something I just like to keep things simple in that way. So I didn't want to put the toy in there, potentially be desensitized, like you said, because
Right.
I know what's going on with our nervous system, and
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be 90 years old and good money.
Right.
You feel me?
I
Talk
feel
to
you.
me.
I feel you. Me too. Goals.
I need this thing.
Goals. Phil said her fingers move at the speed of a hummingbird's wings.
Woo! So does my tongue. Woo! I'm not gonna show you though, because I'm not that creepy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I want to thank everybody again for coming out, for watching, and for commenting, the questions. This is a lot of fun. It was really great.
Great.
And
You're so fun. This is the best interview. I've done a lot. I've done a lot. This one was really good. This is
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
It
you.
makes me feel
Thank
good.
you. I enjoyed this. This is cool. This was cool.
Man, after doing these lives for this month, I'm like, maybe I'll go to journalism school and like
Hey
learn how to
girl.
really officially do interviews.
Hey girl.
I miss you too, Phil. Who knows? I'll hope to travel again and be in DC whenever this quarantine is over. Who knows? I guess it won't be till next year. But anyway, so thank you one more time for coming out and being on here, Milayo. We'll definitely have to
Yes,
do
so
this again. It was so much fun. I'm gonna keep this going in June because I've just been having so much fun with this. I'm talking to some more ladies. I'm gonna have more ladies coming out. Maybe have some other people come back. So we'll do this in June and keep it
okay.
going because this is just fun.
We'll tune in.
All
We'll
right.
tune in for sure.
Yes. 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 All right. So you have a good night. Stay safe out there. Get some
Thank you.
rest. I know you had a long trip today, drive home, so get some rest. And you guys, everybody who's watching, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for participating. Have a good night. Don't forget to
Thank you.
subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you have not, so that you can get the reminders of my lives. And I'll see you guys soon or on Wednesday. All right.
Bye.
Bye.